Majesty lost, a world without mountains. Imagine a world where towering peaks no longer pierce the clouds. Where once stood the Himalayas, the Andes, the Rockies, now stretch vast, unbroken plains. This is our world, stripped of mountains. The disappearance of these colossal landforms sends shockwaves across the globe. It's a change so profound, so fundamental, that it rewrites the very rules of our planet. Without mountains, the Earth would be unrecognizable. Gone would be the familiar landmarks, the sources of our rivers, the cradles of unique ecosystems. In their place, a world struggling to adapt to a sudden and dramatic transformation. The Earth trembles, geological upheaval. The disappearance of mountains triggers chaos within the Earth's crust. Mountains are the product of colliding tectonic plates, their immense weight holding the plates in check. Remove the mountains, and these plates, no longer pinned down, would jolt into new positions. Earthquakes of unprecedented magnitude would ripple across continents, reshaping landscapes and swallowing cities whole. Volcanic activity would surge. With pressure released from the Earth's interior, molten rock would erupt through weak points in the crust, forming chains of volcanoes where mountains once stood. The planet would be in a state of violent flux, a stark reminder of the delicate balance that mountains maintain. Winds of change, a world without rain shadows. Mountains play a crucial role in shaping our planet's climate. They act as barriers, forcing moisture-laden air upwards where it cools, condenses, and falls as rain or snow. Without mountains, these weather patterns would be thrown into disarray. The rain shadow effect, responsible for lush forests on one side of a mountain range and arid deserts on the other, would cease to exist. Deserts would expand, encroaching on former grasslands and farmlands. Coastal regions, no longer sheltered by mountain ranges, would be battered by fierce storms and rising sea levels. The once predictable rhythm of seasons would become erratic, as wind patterns shift and global temperatures fluctuate wildly. Silent peaks, vanished life ecosystems in disarray. The disappearance of mountains would be catastrophic for countless species. Mountain ecosystems, isolated by altitude and terrain, are home to a remarkable diversity of life, much of it found nowhere else on Earth. Without their mountain habitats, these species would face extinction. Rare plants, adapted to specific altitudes and microclimates, would vanish. Animals, their migration routes blocked, their food sources gone, would perish. The loss of mountain forests would have devastating consequences for the planet's oxygen production and carbon sequestration. These forests act as the lungs of the Earth, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen. Without them, the effects of climate change would accelerate, pushing the planet closer to a tipping point. Section 5. Civilization's challenge, adapting to a flattened world. The disappearance of mountains would pose unprecedented challenges for human civilization. Our cities, built around rivers and coastlines, would be vulnerable to flooding and extreme weather events. Water scarcity would become a global crisis. Mountains act as natural reservoirs, capturing and storing water from rain and snowmelt. Without mountains, rivers would dwindle, aquifers would dry up, and vast swaths of farmland would become barren. The loss of these vital resources would trigger mass migrations, economic collapse, and social unrest. Section 6. A world without wonder, the loss of natural splendor. The disappearance of mountains would rob our world of some of its most awe-inspiring natural wonders. No longer could we marvel at the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas, the rugged beauty of the Andes, or the vastness of the Rocky Mountains. These majestic landforms for centuries have inspired artists, poets, and adventurers. They are woven into our myths and legends, our cultural identities, our very sense of place in the world. Their loss would leave an immeasurable void, a profound sense of loss that would resonate through generations to come. Section 7. Seeds of innovation, adapting to a mountainless future. Faced with a world without mountains, humanity would be forced to adapt. We would need to develop new technologies to cope with the altered climate, the water shortages, and the increased risk of natural disasters. Massive engineering projects might be undertaken to create artificial mountains, designed to influence weather patterns and provide water storage. Renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power would become even more crucial in a world without hydropower. Our cities would need to be redesigned, built to withstand extreme weather and rising sea levels. Section 8. A world transformed. Living on a featureless Earth. The disappearance of mountains would leave our planet a fundamentally different place. It would be a world of vast, unbroken plains, a world sculpted by wind and water, a world both alien and strangely familiar. The Earth's ecosystems would be forever altered, with new species evolving to fill the niches left vacant by the loss of mountain life. Humanity, its resilience tested as never before, would be forced to adapt to a world without mountains. The memory of mountains would live on in our stories, our art, and our history, a poignant reminder of the dramatic forces that shape our planet and the delicate balance on which all life depends.